Welcome back to Everlasting Summer, Part 20. I still have not been paying attention to this. As for the button here, I've talked to... I put a post in the discussion thread, forum, hub thing for this game, and some people said it might have been just because of the update, not realizing that I've already read through this, since I read through the stuff before the update, so we'll see when we get to Lena's route, after we're done with Slavia, if it's any better. And I gotta open up one thing quickly. Alright, good. I'd forgotten to open up the guide in case I have any decisions. Probably nothing good will come of this, but the only way to get her off of me is to wrestle my hand out of hers. But that wouldn't be very nice. Nothing bad will happen after all. Probably. Within a minute, we were already standing in the music club. Miku took a guitar. Here, have a look. She sat down and started playing. That's all. I tried to follow her hands. The tune seemed quite simple. It does. It seemed quite easy to repeat it. Got it? Kind of. Let's try. I took the guitar and started playing. Yeah. That didn't really work out. What are you talking about? You were just a little bit slow. Let me show you one more time. She played much better than me. Looking at Miku, I wondered. Of course, she was a chatterbox. She was naive and clumsy. However, she was extremely talented in music. Music club, girl, come on. Try again. I managed much better the second time. Wow, that's much better. She smiled. It wasn't hard, in fact, just repeat the same notes over and over. Just don't lose track. Start on my command. Okay. Ready? Go. No. It was a song in Japanese. Frankly speaking, I didn't understand a single word, but Miku's singing was quite good. In fact, it was outstanding. She put her heart in every note, every word. Down you go. Wait. Okay. That didn't seem to change anything. Yeah, music probably is the very thing for her to dedicate her life to. It seemed like it wasn't her who chose the music, but the music that chosen her. Thug life. No. The last half an hour presented Miku in a completely different light. I guess that's over now. Oh, thank you. Did you like it? I finally managed it with you. On my own, it's not so good. I either mess up the words or miss the strings, and it's just perfect with you. Thank you so much. You really have a talent, you know. Just to play like that without any preparation. Nope, it seems I've changed my opinion about her too hastily. Thanks for the song. Gotta go. See you. Thanks for... And the asshole shut the door. The rest of her words were left behind the door. I leaned on the wall of the club cabin inside. Miku's song was still playing in my mind. I went for lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and a realization of time wasted. The canteen was crowded. I couldn't stay unnoticed. Olga called me. Semyon, come with us. The camp leader, Slava, and Electronic were sitting at the four-seat table. I nodded and went to get my food. This time I had to spend several minutes in the queue. Today's menu didn't really differ from the other day's menus. The dishes looked the same, at least. When I sat at the table and wished bon appetit to everyone... Is that seriously a thing they do in Russia? I just wish bon appetit, which is clearly French. I don't know. I was going to say, we speak French here in Canada, but yeah, we're a French-English country. Olga said. So, what are you thinking? About what? We searched for Shurik all around. It's noon and he's nowhere to be found. I remember this because I said I took note of the rhyme. See if we can skip a little bit. I'm just gonna try and keep an eye on what I have read, right? And hopefully that it gets fixed when we get to the Lena's route after we teach the game that we've already seen all of this again. So going through Lena's route should be a lot faster. That's what I'm saying. Na-na-na. Tried to do that. Shark seemed... Oh, wait. There's no good reason to believe that he was gone. Okay, I guess I haven't read this. Jeez. It's already done. We'll just have to wait. Slavia Electronic, Olga looked at me sorrowfully, but didn't say a word. I finished my lunch, took the tray back, and left the canteen. Nope, okay. It's still the first half of the day. What now? The camp was drifting off for an afternoon nap. Man, the first episode playing through this, I mean, I guess it was 50 minutes long, so it's like 2 episodes really in one, but I had so many damn choices I could make. Now it's just like, ever since then, it's been no choices. Only Gunda stared at me through his glasses. And skip. He's standing elsewhere, but I had a complete... Whatever. But he knows where Shirk is hiding. He just can't say anything. The disappearance of the Cybernetics Club's leader made me think, how do I know he's the leader? Maybe it's got something to do with my case. Oh, Pioneer. The nurse stood in front of me. I looked at her curiously. Go and take my place in the infirmary. I have an urgent call. Somebody is injured. Me? Yes, you. Take the keys. I just realized this is where I finally get to have a choice. In Slavia's art, so cool, yay. The nurse threw me the keys and ran away. Why me? Isn't there anyone else in this camp? What exactly should I be doing? What if something happens? Oh, what do I do now? I missed my chance to refuse. I stood in front of the door uncertainly. On the one hand, there's nothing to worry about. I'll spend half an hour or so here and she'll be back. But what if someone comes for actual help? With a broken leg or a head injury? I began to worry too much. Hopefully there are no injuries, and how much are you going to let me skip this? You're not even going to bother to let me right now. Same time, I cannot shake the idea that a serious situation in a serious situation, I would be absolutely useless. I don't even know how to perform CPR. A magazine on the nurse's table caught my attention. Good way to relax, I guess. It's labeled Soviet fashion. Skip. I don't think there can be anything new in here. Except we do not ask about the bundle. Wait. It says run away as an option to choose, and that gives a plus for Slavia. But I never got that option. Oh. No, never mind. I was gonna say maybe that was on the first day, run away from Slavia, from Elisa, but no, because that runaway option's past the tournament. I'm just gonna manually skip the stuffs. Lena stood at the door. The nurse isn't here? Then we'll come back later. I'm substituting for her. Since I am responsible for Pioneers' lives, I should do it with full responsibility. Although, in fact, I was just afraid of something bad happening because of me. Any health complaints? I tried to give Lena the most professional smile I could, in order not to confuse her. Nothing special. Just a little headache. Let's do this. Some painkillers, maybe. Of course, I wasn't aware where to find medicines, so it took me a while to find them. Finally, I handed a metamizole tablet to Lena. Thanks. She smiled. That was completely unexpected, and I lost touch with reality staring at her. What? Lena turned awkward in an instant. Listen, I've been wondering, do you like this? I don't know what got into me, but I grabbed that magazine from the table and showed her that picture of a skirt and cardigan, which would really suit Lena in my opinion. Maybe I went completely nuts, thinking about all the girls being in my world. Or maybe I wanted to distract myself instead of just waiting for the nurse to come back. Lena looked at the picture. Yes, I guess. Stuff like this in fashion? I guess. She got confused and started blushing. Why do you ask? Really, why? I bet you this is one for her route. I'm going to just say just asking because I don't want to put plus points for her. I want to make sure I'm getting Slavia's route this time. We were quiet for some time. How's your headache? Much better, thank you. She smiled. I'll be off. Good luck. Lena went out and I continued to look through the magazine. After a while, somebody knocked at the door again. Seems that the infirmary is the most popular place to go. Suddenly I decided to roleplay a nurse, just a male version, and said, "Come in." The door opened and Ilyana entered the room. I thought it was going to be Slavia because of the knocking. Wow, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking? Anything wrong with me knocking? She frowned. Where does it hurt? Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse? Right in front of you. I imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her. I'd better go. It'd be better to die than be treated by you. She smiled mischievously. You didn't even let me try. Ilyana thought for a moment. Though you could give me some pills. What's bothering you? It took her some time to reply. A heavy stomach. Sure it's not an empty head? I muttered under my breath. What did you say? Nothing. Give me a second. Found the pills in the first drawer I opened. Thank you, doctor. She smiled cheerfully. Watching Ilyana, I could not imagine how such an optimistic and active child could have any health problems. See, this one's a thing. I think this one's a plus for her route, so nope. I was gonna look like a dick, but we're just trying to get the routes now. We're done the game. We're just finishing the routes now, just for fun, to see all the stuff we missed. So, she gave me a baleful look. No, I left everything for you. And then she left. Ilyana ran into the infirmary, blah 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 blah. Skip to the next girl comes in, which I think is Elisa. No, it's Slavia. Slavia was standing at the doorway. Oh, hi. Isn't the nurse here? No, she's not here. I'm taking over for today. Great. I'd like... She hesitated. What? By the way, Semyon? Slavia said and looked intently at me. What? Seems like I lost my keys. Have you seen them anywhere? Sure I have. Yes, here. I found them near the canteen yesterday. Wanted to return them to you, but forgot about it. I was really bad at lying. My cheeks were red, my eyes were wandering around, and my hands were constantly shaking. Oh, right, I was like, you did forget about it. No, he didn't forget about it. He was distracted by a little Slavia. Here. I was already preparing myself for an appropriate scolding, but Slavia only took the keys and said, Thanks. So what have you come for? I really needed to change the subject. Was anything hurt? No, it's nothing. Strange. I wouldn't even think such an open person as Slavia would keep something quiet. That's because you're oblivious. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled widely. No. I mean, yes, but no. Hearing that made anything possible, even division by 0. So, how can I help you? You? I guess you can't. She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped. However, could you step out for a minute? Why not? Okay. I stepped out of the infirmary and leaned against the wall. I wonder what she might be doing, something that I can't even see. After a minute, the door opened and Slavia came out. She was carrying a small bundle. Do not ask about the bundle. It's my first decision in a long time that actually, helps me with her route. Good luck, I shouted after her. Thank you. She gave me one of her sweet smiles before leaving. Sweet smiles like a cherry pie on a warm Sunday window. Why the window is a Sunday, I don't know. I looked at the time. It was getting late. I read the magazine backwards and forwards, but the nurse still wasn't here. Suddenly, the door burst open and Elisa rushed inside. She looked at me piercingly. What are you doing here? Sitting, I admitted honestly. Okay then. It's even better without the nurse, she murmured. Are you sick? I asked, acidly. Elisa didn't answer and came closer to me. Move over. Why? So I can open the drawer. Isn't it obvious? What for? She got angry. None of your business. Well, I am kinda in charge here. She gave it a moment's thought. Then give me some activated carbon. Stomachache? Yeah. She grinned sharply. I had the feeling there was something wrong here. In the interest of time, I know it's a plus for her route, but I'm sorry, I have a thing for Elisa. Now. Ever since, I don't know. But you never know. What if she really has an ache? Okay. I reached into the drawer, got out a packet of packet of activated carbon. Thanks. She wrested it from my hand and ran away. It was 15 minutes till dinner, and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving the place like this won't do. She asked me to look after it after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. No, who would want to steal anything from here? Lisa? Except for Elisa stealing activated carbon. I opened the magazine again and began flipping through it for the nth time. Fashions of the 80s weren't that fun anymore. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, so dinner's already started. Of course, I had to be on the watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on the matter. I stood up and steadily headed to the exit. A rustling sound came from behind the door. Could it be someone else who got poisoned, broke their arm, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. It seems like it was just my imagination. I returned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. To be precise, an apple had appeared on the table. And this is part of Yulia's route. But where from? Fruits can't just materialize out of from thin air by themselves, can they? Though in this camp, anything's possible. Even glitching skip things. But wait, there's more. Lena, yep. I'm just gonna mash the enter key. We're not gonna eat the apple because we're about to leave soon. Oh wait, I just noticed the apple there. No, even assuming this is a normal apple, in any case, I shouldn't eat unwashed fruits. Just like that. Found a reason for my fear and put the apple away. It was time to go for dinner. Along the way, I ran into electronic. How's it going? Did you find Shirk? Skip. That skipped no lines. No, still no sign of him. Don't worry. I'll find him. I tried to cheer him up. Too much time has passed. I'll just keep on searching. What about dinner? No, finding Shirk is more important. Well, he's in the bunker down there whispering about people in the old camp. Saying there's people there. Trying to eat his face off. He muttered thoughtfully. I left him at the crossroads and wished him good luck. Pioneers crowded in the doorway. I quickened my pace, trying not to be the last one in line, at least for today. And I was lucky. In the far corner was an absolutely empty table, where people came to bug me. I want to skip this. This doesn't skip very fast, but it helps me skip some things. That's faster if I just hit enter a bunch of times. So we're just going to skip. These two live together. I don't understand that. Is there a route for Xenia? No. Maybe in the DLC, which we also have the DLC ending to do, so okay, after we're done all of these. I decided to take a walk. Have I actually read this? I apparently have. That way something interesting could arise quite unexpectedly. Okay, whatever. Oh. And I heard a loud bang. Ah, we've seen this. So, we're gonna skip this. This was the activated carbon. I just want to see if there's anything different, like as in me getting in trouble. Like Elisa saying, he gave me the activated carbon. you make a bomb with. Activated carbon, saltpeter, and sulfur. Well, she didn't ask. I knew it. Because I'm not going with Elisa's red either, so maybe if I had been, like in last time, maybe last time if I'd had given her the activated carbon, or had, the first time we played through the game, I bet if I gave her activated carbon she might not have told me, but besides, he gave me the activated carbon. She pointed at me with her finger. The whole square stared at me. Thoughts about the pointlessness of this act due to the small bomb's size left me at that very moment. She stole it. I did nothing. Even if he gave it to you, I'm sure that Semyon would never take part in such a disgusting antisocial act. Yes, exactly. I agreed. I could hardly imagine how long she would have kept on scolding Elisa if Electronic hadn't popped out at that very moment shouting, I found it! I found it! Everyone turned towards him. He held a boot in his hand. And I've read this! So we're gonna skip. I'm gonna... I think this is also another decision I get. Yay! Soon, at least. Just to go with Slavia. We have read this. Why is... I get a feeling that the game is telling me that I've gotten really far with Slavia's route because hers is dark. It says go with Slavia is a plus. So I'll go with him. Very well. Very well. It's better together. Lots of things are better together. Are you sure? I asked Slavia in a whisper. Are you sure? I wanted to be sure, but she didn't answer, just smiled. I looked speechlessly at Slavia for some time. Why is she always helping me? This again. Because she likes you! Very good. Good luck then, both of you. This is also good because that means different dialogues for the next while. Hopefully, because I'll be going with her to get Shirk. We'll need it. The camp leader and other girls said their goodbyes and went their own ways. I was quite surprised that they're treating our night walk through the forest to the abandoned camp as something normal. Well, can't really be helped. Wait a minute, I'll bring a flashlight. She's turning British again. 20 minutes in. Flashlight, sure. While I was waiting for Slavia, I had a strange thought. Why is she always so kind, sympathetic, and ready to help? Why did she offer to go with me to God knows where? It's always the quiet ones. She's not quiet. Lena is. Should I be concerned about her? I'm back. With a smile, Slavia gave me a flashlight. It just occurred to me that earlier in the same day, he said, she's so open. It's always the quiet ones that are so open and willing to talk about everything. Shall we go? From what Electronic told us, the old building was built right after the war. It looked like a kindergarten, or like a barracks I expected. And definitely could hold less pioneers than today's camp. It had been abandoned for about 20 years. It was now totally dark. It seemed like the forest was afraid of us, was as afraid of us as we were of it. Trees politely moved away, grouping at the sides of the path and patiently watching us. An owl hooed somewhere far away, but more quietly than usual. I wasn't afraid walking next to Slavia. Probably in any other situation, even in the real world, I would be too scared to go into a forest without a proper path. But I tried to get rid of these thoughts. Although it was strange, Slavia probably soothed my self-preservation instincts, and my sense of reality was blunted. If it continues this way, I'll jump towards some beast with a smile on my face. You're not afraid at all, are you? Meaning? Meaning you're not afraid. Slavia turned around and looked at me, smiling in a strange way, either with misunderstanding or with gentle mockery. Or maybe I was just seeing things. Well, night, the forest, the old camp. Yes, it sort of gives me the chills. Just sort of? Are you afraid? No, Well, yes, but it's a natural human reaction in this kind of situation. I didn't want to show my fear, but I wasn't really scared. I just felt that being scared is what I should be in a situation like this. It was like my body had stopped producing antibodies to fight against an infection. I was scared, not by the night forest, but by the fact that I was reacting to everything that was happening in the wrong way. On the other hand, I didn't want to make a fool of myself. I see. Savia smiled again and continued walking. The path, surrounded by trees and bushes, was becoming more narrow. The deeper we went into the forest, the less clearly we could see the moon. For a moment, the clouds hid the moon and everything was submerged into almost pitch-black darkness. If only you had a flashlight. I closed my eyes tight, and when I opened them, the moon had taken its place again, and painted the world in bright white colors of its night shroud. I only just realized how much I hate the dark. Finally, a clear space appeared far away ahead, and a minute later we were standing at the edge of a forest glade. There was a ramshackle old camp building, eroded by rain, rust, and beetles. It smiled at us with broken windows like a gap-toothed mouth. A silent rebuke from the dead of the from the dead to the living could be read in this smile. A cemetery fog clouded the whole glade, so ghosts, ghouls, zombies, devils, and other evil entities seemed to loom from the haze. This sight was enough to give the average person a heart attack, or at least a panic attack. If Savia hadn't taken my hand, I surely wouldn't have been able to stand it. It won't be as scary this way, she smiled, if we hold hands. Okay, I'm not going to object. I couldn't say anything else, just grasped her hand tightly. What am I even doing here? Looking for Shurik at night in the forest. Here? At least you're not alone. How could I ever agree? There's not a single normal person who would. But the world around me can't be really called... But the world around me can't really be called normal. I tried to persuade myself that I was finding answers, and that it can't really get any worse. To be honest, nothing bad had actually happened to me during the last 4 days in this camp. Besides, I had no special reason to think that something bad would happen. Maybe it's just the way the world works. People can't live without adventures. Adventure! Shall we go? Yes, I guess. Is she gonna come down to Shurik with me? And everything? But we didn't make a move. Savia seemed to be waiting for me to take the first step, but I had just enough courage to stand still without running away. The moon showed up from behind the clouds again and lit up the old camp building. Okay, I swear, this picture actually did light up a little bit, because I thought I did that last time when around this dialogue section, but now I'm positive it did. Now it less looked like a tomb, but all the dead pictures in my imagination grew real. Visions of ghosts became more focused. The wailing of the wind and the grass rustling got clearer. Noises of the unknown origin could be heard from afar. Seems like it was a great place before. I looked at Savia carefully. Maybe she was scared, but she was trying to hide it. Knowing that, I felt a little bit better and calmer. Maybe. Let's go? Sure. I stepped carefully, watching every step, trying not to touch the old fence, the crooked merry-go-round, or the rusty slide. In some places, the grass was waist-high, so any wrong move could lead to broken legs or hands. At last we came to the entrance, and I pointed my flashlight inside. The darkness that looked back at me was much scarier than the view outside. At least the moon shone brightly there. I gathered up all my courage and crossed the threshold. And we will see where this leads us in the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.